Right now, your phone probably knows where you are, what you're about to search for, and that embarrassing thing you did 5 years ago that you'd rather forget. In today's digital age, data privacy has become less of a shield and more of a sieve. We click, agree without a second thought, blindly handing over our digital selves to tech giants. But what are these companies doing with all that data? Let's delve into the privacy practices of some of the most popular platforms: TikTok, Google, Facebook, Apple, and those AI platforms that seem to be everywhere these days. Buckle up, because things are about to get interesting. TikTok, it's the app where everyone from your niece to your grandma is attempting viral dance routines. But behind those catchy tunes and seemingly harmless videos lies a data collection operation that's more intricate than a perfectly synchronized dance crew. First off, there's the data you hand over willingly: your name, email address, maybe even your phone number if you're feeling brave. Then there's the stuff TikTok gathers quietly in the background: your IP address, the type of phone you're using, even your precise location. And that's before we even get to the data generated by your activity on the app: what you watch, how long you watch it for, and who you interact with. TikTok claims this data is used to personalize your experience, but it's also incredibly valuable for targeted advertising, something TikTok excels at. But here's where things get really interesting. Remember those concerns about TikTok potentially using keystroke logging? Imagine an app knowing every word you type, even in private messages. Or how about the collection of biometric data, analyzing your face for everything from your emotional state to your ethnicity? And let's not forget the rumors of TikTok accessing data from other devices connected to the same network. Suddenly, that dance craze doesn't seem so innocent anymore, does it? Now, TikTok isn't the only one playing this game. It's just that their youth-focused platform makes the implications of mass data collection hit a little differently. So, what can you do about it? You can adjust your privacy settings, but let's be honest, how many of us actually do? You can limit the app's permissions, but that might stop it from working properly. You can use a VPN to mask your location, but that's another monthly subscription to worry about. The truth is, for those who prioritize privacy above all else, the best option might be to steer clear of TikTok altogether. Google, the benevolent overlord of the internet. We ask it questions, we rely on its maps, and we trust it with our emails. But even Google, with its motto of "Don't be evil," has found itself walking a tightrope when it comes to data privacy. Starting February 16, 2025, Google is giving advertisers a new tool: fingerprinting. No, not the kind the police use, though it can feel just as invasive. Fingerprinting in the digital world is like creating a unique fingerprint for your device based on its software and hardware. It's Google's way of identifying you even if you clear your cookies or browse in incognito mode. Think of it like this. Imagine walking into a store and the shop assistant instantly knows your name, address, and what you bought on your last 10 visits, all without you ever giving them that information directly. That's the level of tracking we're talking about with fingerprinting. The Information Commissioner's Office, the UK's data watchdog, has already raised concerns, saying that fingerprinting reduces user control and lacks transparency. And they're right, we should be concerned. Google argues that this new technology comes with privacy-enhancing features. They say it's for the greater good, that it will improve advertising and make our online experiences more relevant. But at what cost? When does convenience trump our right to privacy? It's a slippery slope, and once we start sliding down it, it's hard to climb back up. So the next time you see a targeted ad that's a little too close to home, remember Google's fingerprinting technology. It might be watching you more closely than you think. Facebook, a history of privacy hiccups. Facebook, the social media giant that's become as ubiquitous as awkward family gatherings. We use it to connect with friends, share photos of our pets, and inadvertently reveal our political leanings to distant relatives. But Facebook's hunger for data is no secret. In fact, it's been the subject of countless headlines, documentaries, and even congressional hearings. Remember the Cambridge Analytica scandal? Millions of Facebook users' data harvested without their consent, all for the sake of targeted political advertising. It was a wake-up call for many, a stark reminder that our online lives are not our own. But Facebook's privacy issues go far beyond a single scandal. It's about the constant collection of data, even when you're not actively using the platform. It's about the opaque privacy settings that feel more like a maze than a menu. It's about the facial recognition software that can identify you in photos, even if you're not tagged. And it's about the sharing of your data with third-party apps and advertisers, often without your explicit knowledge or consent. The problem with Facebook is that it's become so ingrained in our lives that deleting it feels like cutting off a limb. We've invested years building our profiles, connecting with friends, and documenting our lives. But at what cost? Are we willing to sacrifice our privacy for the sake of convenience? The choice is ultimately yours, but remember, when it comes to Facebook, the price of admission might be higher than you think. Apple, the privacy paradox. Apple, the tech giant that's built an empire on sleek design and a carefully cultivated image of privacy. What happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone, they proclaim. But is that really the case? Apple has long positioned itself as the champion of user privacy, the ethical alternative to data-hungry companies like Google and Facebook. And to their credit, they've implemented some genuinely privacy-focused features, like on-device processing and app tracking transparency. But scratch beneath the surface, and you'll find a more complicated truth. Researchers have found that Apple continues to collect user data even when privacy settings are disabled. They've been criticized for providing government agencies with access to user data, including GPS location, chat conversations, and even photos. And let's not forget the iCloud debacle, where promises of end-to-end encryption turned out to be more aspirational than actual. The problem with Apple's privacy narrative is that it relies on a certain level of trust. They tell us our data is safe, and we want to believe them. After all, they're Apple, the company that values design and user experience above all else. But as with any large corporation, the bottom line often takes precedence. And when it comes to data, there's a lot of money to be made. So, the next time you see an Apple ad touting its privacy features, remember that even the shiniest apple can have a worm inside. AI platforms, the black box of data, artificial intelligence, the technology that promises to revolutionize everything from healthcare to transportation. But behind the hype and potential lies a dark side, the insatiable appetite for data. AI systems thrive on data. The more data they have, the better they become at recognizing patterns, making predictions, and mimicking human intelligence. But this data often comes from us, the users, and the way it's collected and used can be shrouded in secrecy. Take Clearview AI, the facial recognition company that scraped billions of images from social media platforms without users' consent. Their technology is now being used by law enforcement agencies around the world, raising serious concerns about privacy and due process. Or consider Slack, the workplace communication tool that was caught using user conversations to train its AI models, all without explicit user opt-in. The problem with AI is that it's often a black box. We don't know what data is being collected, how it's being used, or who has access to it. And as AI becomes more sophisticated, so too do the risks to our privacy. So what can we do about it? The answer, unfortunately, is not much. We can choose to opt out of services that rely heavily on AI, but that's becoming increasingly difficult in a world where AI is everywhere. We can demand greater transparency from companies developing and using AI, but whether they listen is another matter. The reality is that we're entering uncharted territory. AI has the potential to do great things, but it also has the potential to erode our privacy in ways we can't even imagine. It's a future we need to navigate carefully, with our eyes wide open. Staying safe in the digital age. So there you have it. A glimpse into the complex and often unsettling world of data privacy in the digital age. It's enough to make you want to throw your phone in the river and live off the grid. But before you do, there are some steps you can take to protect your privacy while still enjoying the benefits of the online world. Adjust your privacy settings, limit app permissions, use a VPN, and regularly review and delete collected data. It might seem like a losing battle, but every little bit helps. The most important thing is to stay informed. Read privacy policies, even if they are as long and convoluted as a Tolstoy novel. Pay attention to the permissions you grant apps, and be mindful of the data you share online. Remember, in the digital world, knowledge is power. The more you know about how your data is being collected and used, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself. It's time to take back control of our digital lives. It won't be easy, but it's a fight worth fighting. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe in the digital age. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to share it with anyone who might benefit from learning more about data protection and online privacy.